Hello everyone. Good afternoon, and for somebody, good morning or good night, whatever. And today we will talk about the conversion of data from Netcdf format to CSV format. This is very difficult for the beginner who has not experience on Netcdf data and may have the problem during your data analysis, right? So we often want to convert the Netcdf data format into CSV format to see our data on our eye, right? Anyway, can you hear me? Is it okay?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right.
Yes.
First, we'll convert the 4 dimensions arrays to 1 dimension array. Then we'll construct the header line. Then we write data to CSV file. Okay. And we'll also talk about the loops in NCL. Okay. Then on 28th, next 2 days we'll talk about the visualization like special map, then the temporal map, a temporal plot. Okay. Next 2 days we'll talk about the visualization. We'll finish basics of NCL by today. Okay. Anyway, you have this code nc to csv.ncl, and you have this loop in ncl.ncl files, right? In which I already sent. Okay. And you should have this data atmospheric parameters.nc file, and you should have another data file like T2, my temperature at 2 meters height.nc file. Okay. So I hope you have the code, data, and you already changed your directory. Okay. Anyway, what is the concepts for today's lecture? First, we will write a CSV file with a header using write table. This is a write table is built-in function we'll use to write our Netcdf data into CSV file. Okay. So this example reads three variables like temperature, meridional wind, and zonal wind. Okay. 3 variables, but they are in the 4 dimensions, 4 arrays of a Netcdf file, and we will write to a CSV file with header that contains the long name and units of each field. Anyway, first is very simple. This is our file name, parameter nc. Then we use the addfile to import our data in NCL. Then file name dot r means read. Okay. Then in our data file we have 3 variables. One is the temperature in 2 meters, then zonal wind and meridional wind. The first we'll see the data dimensions. Okay. So remove the semicolon for before the print var summary, and then type exit. Are we together? Hello? Are we together?
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are together.
All right. So you remove the semicolon and then type exit. Okay. Then I hope you already changed your directory. So type NCL. Then the code name is the same for every day. Okay. This is a very basic, same for every day. Type NCL. Then our code name is NC2 CSV file, right? First type 2 or 3 letters like NC, then type tab key just above the caps lock key. Okay. So NCL, then our code name is nc2 csv.ncl. Okay, press enter. When you press enter, you can see the T, that means the temperature, the unit is in Kelvin. It has 4 dimensions: time, the label, then it has lat and long, right? This is a 4 dimensions data, but we will write in a CSV file. Okay, temperature, then we have the zonal wind component. Sorry, U is a zonal wind component. Then we have a V, that is the meridional wind components. Okay, and every data has 4 dimensions, and the winds is in meter per second, right? So now let's go ahead. Again, put the semicolon to make comment, okay, and remove the exit. All right. Then now read the one dimension coordinate arrays. That means we lose a one. First, dims. Dims means dimensions. So in NCL there is a functions like dim sizes. That means the dimension sizes is equal like T. T is the temperature. So how many dimensions we have? We have 4 dimensions, right? We have time, label, lat, and lon. Okay. So these are dimensions. So read the one dimension coordinate arrays. That means first we confirm the dimensions because we will write a CSV file. In CSV file will be the data in one dimension, right? So first the dimension is T, time. First time one dimension. That means we are taking the time dimension one dimension. Just from the 4 dimensions we are taking just one dimension and confirm with the one dimension, the dimension with time. That means before the parenthesis there is another function. This is called n dimension to one dimension. That means in our data we have 4 dimensions. Say for example time, label, lat, and lon. So from the 4 dimensions we are converting into one dimension because we are going to write in a CSV file, right? That's why this is the function n dimension to one dimension. Okay, so like time one dimension, the label one dimension, then lat one dimension, lon one dimension, right? But we need to construct a header line. What does it mean, the header line? Header line means if you open a CSV file, any CSV file, it's taking time. Sorry, it's taking a long time. Okay, opening now. Okay, header means the header. Okay, like we have the year, we have normal PET, the potential evapotranspiration, normal climatic balance. Okay, so this is called the header. We want to write a header, say for example for year, then time, then lat, then lon, then our variable like temperature, zonal wind, then meridional wind. We want to construct a header. Okay, that's why we are calling here construct header line. So field's name first, the T, time, long name is, we want to take the time long name from the time long name, and we are using the double quotation, means we want to write a string. String means the character, is a non-numeric data, right? Like time, first the time, then label, then lat, then long, like for T, temperature long name, then U long name, V long name, and with units. What is the units? Like meter per second, or the temperature in Kelvin, then the wind is in meter per second, right? So we are writing a header. So field names, we took the field's name from our data file. Then we are calling a variable like header. Header here we want to join the string join function in NCL. In string join function in NCL, you can give the field names, the string name, then we want to separate with double quotation. Okay, this is the header, like the for time long name like time, label, lat, lon. Okay, then the temperature unit is Kelvin, then wind unit in meter per second. Then we want to write a header to CSV file. So first we need to give a CSV file name. So CSV file name we want to give temperature U b.csv file. Okay, we want to give the name like temperature underscore ub.csv file. Okay, then we want to remove the existing file, right? System, then rm, this is a Linux command, rm, this is a remove, then minus rf means the force, we want to remove, forcefully remove, we want to forcefully remove, okay? Remove the existing file if it has. We think we don't have this file. However, if there is any file like temperature u and b, we want to remove the file name, csv file name. Okay, then we want to use the function write table. In write table function, this is our csv file name, temperature uv.csv. Then when we want to write, w means write, then what we want to write, the header, then %s means write strings to the file. In NCL, if you use the %s, that means you are going to write a string to the file. Okay, if you are very beginner, it will be difficult to understand, but after some time, when you are when you will be in advanced level, it will not be a problem. Okay, don't worry. So then we want to convert 4-dimensional arrays to 1-dimension data. Okay, so we have a function like n dimension to 1 dimension. So the temperature we are making 1 dimension, we are making 1 dimension, 4 dimension to 1 dimension. We want to convert 4 dimensions v into 1 dimension. That's why we are using the n dimension to 1 dimension function. Okay, now we need to write the data to file. So we are making a list of variables. First, time 1 dimension. In NCL or Python, if you want to create a list, we use a square bracket. Okay, we use square bracket. Within the square bracket, we use slash, then our variable list like time 1 dimension, level 1 dimension, lat 1 dimension, lon 1 dimension, then our temperature data in 1 dimension, then the zonal wind in 1 dimension, then meridional wind in 1 dimension. Okay, then the format is %g. That means NCL uses %g in like C and Fortran to print float or double. The data will print it as a float. Okay, that's why we are writing. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? The same 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the %g will write the data in float format. Okay, then finally we are using the write table function to CSV file. CSV file is temperature ub.csv file. Then A means append. We are appending the data. Okay, whole data we are appending. To appending what? We are appending the variable like time 1 dimension, level 1 dimension, lat 1 dimension, lon, temperature, u and b. Then what is the format? Format is float data. Okay, so now if we run the code, we will find a file like temperature ub.csv file. Okay, let's see if we have this file. Okay, temperature ub, do you have this file? No. Okay, let's run and see. Hello.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, now let's run. Okay, NCL, now nc to csv file.ncl, then write, you just press enter. Okay, now check the file. We should have the file, yeah, temperature u and b. If you run the code, you will find a Excel file. Okay. Now our data is open. Okay, this is the time. Then we have the label, we have the latitude, then we have the longitude, we have the data in the temperature in Kelvin, then we have the zonal wind, then we have meridional wind components in meter per second. Now our data in CSV file. Okay. So now you can see the data. Even you can use CDO to see your data, but our data is in CSV file now. Okay. In next time, use this code to convert your Netcdf file to CSV file. Just change the parameter, just change the variable. Okay. You can use the same code, but before you use this code, you need to change the variable. If you have the different data, just use NCL file dump, then the file name, then you will know your data variables. Okay, when you know your variables, you just change it and use the same code to change your Netcdf to CSV file. Okay. Do you have any question here? Hello.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, I want to know, formerly I heard that you were asking, is there any file with the temp? We found it, we don't have. But this time after running the codes, now we find that there is a file of temp. Now what has happened this time maybe? Is this how we created the temp? In the former, you asked us that is there any file with
just 1 minute,
temp?
Just 1 minute. I'm coming. Hello, my friend.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry. Yes. I had an important call. Okay, what did you ask?
Yes, I was asking that formerly you were looking for the temp file. Actually we didn't. And then after running the code, now we find that we have this temp. Does it mean that now it has been created from that NC to CSV, and that is what we are doing?
Yes,
right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
when in future, if you have any data, you can use this code, but you need to change the variable here. Okay, then you can convert your Netcdf data to CSV file.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other question?
I have a question. Doctor, maybe just explain for us the data which has been downloaded. I can see you have the lat loans and the variables, but then the time is not changing. So I was wondering, the time is constant.
Because only for that 1 day, you can see the data. If you see the print word summary, data only for 1 day, like maybe in January, 31, just one time. You can see the print word summary. Okay. It's just one for 1 day, because this is a training. If I use the large data, it will take long time to create a file. Did you get it? That's why I'm using the small file to understand what we are going to do. In future, you have the large file. Okay, maybe years or many months.
I get you. So the script only just picks the data from the different coordinates.
Yeah, different coordinates, like you have a time, you have the lat, lon, and you have the 3 variables.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, now we are going to learn the loop. So, do you have any idea in loop? In any programming, whatever, in NCL, MATLAB, or Python, or R, whatever. Do you have any idea? Any people have idea? Hello?
I think loop is to count the number of elements in the given data.
All right. So, like, if you have the repeated task, okay, if we have the repeated task, we want to do it together one time. We don't want to repeat one by one. We don't want to do again and again. Like you have the 12 months data. You want to do some calculation. You have 12 months data. But if you calculate manually, you need to calculate 1 month by 1 month, like January, then February, then March, then April, then May, June, July, August, till December. But if you can write a code, if you want to write, if we can write the loop, then you are like tightening with roof, like you are making a what should I say, like big circle like this. So we do not want to repeat one by one. We don't want to do one by one. We want to do together. The computer will work. Okay. So in looping, every programming language it will have like the starting point. Where do you want to start? Then the ending point, and you should have the increment. What is the increment? Means the step. Say for example, we have 12 months, okay? So I want to calculate average temperature for every month. If we want to every month, then the default increment is 1. In every programming language, default increment to 1. But if I want to take 2 months together, like January to February, then my increment will be 2. If I want to take the 3 months together, then my increment will be 3. Like 3 months, then after 3 months, then after 3 months. But if you don't want to use the increment, by default is 1. Like every elements for January, February, March, April, first the loop will go for January, then for February, then for March, then for April, then May, June, July, like this. So here remove the semicolon here and type exit. Here I add the loop do and undo. In NCL, do and do. This is the for and loop. But in MATLAB or Python, use the C loop. C loop is for end. Like in MATLAB, we use for end. But in NCL, we use do and do. But end and do should be separately. Don't mix together. Okay. So do. T is equal 0 to 11. That means the NCL is 0 base. 0 base means 0 to 11 means 12 months. Okay, from January to December. Then I want to print the months. I have created a array for 12 months. January, February, March, April. I want to print just for understanding. Okay. Then you run NCL. Then loop in NCL, okay? Then press enter. Okay. When you press enter, you see it's printed from January to first the January, then February, then March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October till December. That means you don't want to repeat, or you don't want to do manually. It will do automatically. Okay.
Hello, that's the script you are using. We don't have it.
You should have, Mr. Jonah. You should have. I said
We don't have it.
You should have. Mr. Matthew.
We don't have that script.
Actually, we don't have this file.
Okay, check.
It was not shared in the group.
Oh, you don't have it, right? All right. Okay, let me send. Okay. Loop in NCL. This one, right? Okay. It's coming. Okay, you should have now. Did you get it now? Did you get it?
Yes.
Yeah, all right.
You answered everything.
Oh, all right. Okay. Then I think you have this file, T2M. You have this file. You have this file. Okay,
Yes,
now
yes.
let's, yeah. So let's run this code to remove the semicolon and type exit, because I don't want to explain add file and etc. I already talked about it. Yeah. So now we have this temperature file. Okay. So temperature file, let's print verse summary, because we use a loop. Okay. And I don't want to print this one. Put semicolon here. Okay. Don't want to print a loop now. Okay. Okay. This warning like empty loop because I put semicolon here. Okay. Now let's see our data. Oh my God. So our data is temperature. All right. The data is temperature and unit is Kelvin. Okay. The temperature is in 2 meters. But we have 3 dimensions here. We have a time, like 1 day data, and then we have a lat, we have lon, right? Now we want to write some loop. So like we have a time, in the data we have time, okay? We have time. Then f is equal time, n time is the dim sizes, that means the dimension sizes of time, okay? The one time. Now we want to write a loop, do nt is equal 0 to n time minus 1. That means if you have the 12 time, so 0 to 11, like 12 minus 1, that means 11, that means 12 months. If you have the 30 elements, then 0 to n minus 1, that means 0 to 29. If you have 6 elements, 0 to 5, that means n time minus 1, because the NCL is 0 base, right? Then I want to print time. Time is equal time from the data. Then minimum value, I want to print the minimum value. We have a built-in function minimum temperature for the n time, okay? The nt is a time. Then for maximum, from maximum value from the time, then n do, okay? Now save. And run. Now our time is just 1 day, just 1 month data, 1979-01. That means January in 1979. The minimum value is 224 Kelvin and maximum value is 308 Kelvin. Okay. Through loop, if you have the more time, like say for example, if you have the time 10, 11 or 12 months or 30 years, 40 years, you can just write here n time minus 1, then you keep the time from the data file and then you just write loop. In future, when you will do map, we will do some mapping, like we will talk about the visualization in the next class, then we'll use more loop for seasonal analysis, climatological analysis, and etc. 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 We'll use more do loop in our exercise. Okay, but today I just talk the basic of the loop. Okay, if you have the basics, then you will not have the problem. You can do. Okay, so do you have any question in the do loop in NCL?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. For example, if you do loop for each month, each month has different number of days. For example, January, February, for example, sometimes it's 29 or 28. and how we can identify to give a specific number of days for each month.
Each month, you have the CD calendar. In the last class, we talked the built-in function CD calendar. Can you remember? Yeah. From CD calendar, we can modify our time. Say, for example, if you need the year, month, and day, then it will convert year, month, and day. But your data should be the daily data if you want to do something in daily basis. If you want to do something in monthly basis, your data should be monthly. Then you can use the CD calendar function and then convert your time. Then it will do automatically. Even we have some function, like if you want to do some seasonal analysis or daily basis or climatological, in the next visualization class, I will show you how to do that. We have built-in function in NCL. All right. Any other questions? Mr. Matthew. Hello. Mr. President.
Hello?
Are you here?
Yes, I can hear you.
So this is the basic of NCL. Now we can play with our data and visualization, like spatial map, temporal figure, etc. Yeah. From next class, we'll play with our real data and spatial map.
So from next class is when you start the visualization and
visualization, and with the visualization, I will try to include some statistical analysis.
Yes, that will be very important if you include this.
Yeah, I will include. Yeah, I will include some
correlations,
some basic statistics like trend or correlation. We often use the correlation, etc. Yeah.
Oh, okay, fine.
Yeah, no problem. So I think we could finish for today. Okay.
Oh, thank you, Doctor.
All right.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Thank you.